Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, this is the story of about 5 videos over the next 30-60 days, including a whiteboard video of what happened in October of 2020 in regards to From the Vaults. This is an interesting story, and I hope you guys enjoy the journey. So, long story short, the entire process started by an accident. As they say in Wall Street, even sometimes in a bull market, even a blind squirrel will find a nut. And that's funny because the entire thing started by accident. And that's the kicker about life. Kind of like in the Big Short with the different movies and things like that. You learn and you overhear things, and sometimes something really silly happens, you know? Well, this is the story of something really silly happening. And it all started with the dice, the 20-sided die in From the Vault products. And this led me down a path of the last literally 4.5 months of an iceberg that I had no idea what was going on. I learned and I couldn't believe, and I was wrong about many things. The supply of products, the pricing, the open market had something mispriced so bad. It's one of the worst mispricing events I've seen in many, many years. So, welcome to the adventures of From the Vault, ladies and gentlemen, and how it all started by accident of me tripping over a dice and finding a nut. So essentially what happened, we start the story with this. I had a contact from a kind of higher net worth magic client who was unloading his old vintage collection because he was buying a big house for his family, and he needed $50,000 for a down payment for his house in actually Florida. So I met with the individual at the local store, and we set an appointment and everything, and he was very adamant because the dollar amount was, usually when the dollar amounts start getting above like 50 to 100,000 plus, people get a little nervous in shipping things, even though registered mail is the way to go. Lock and key transport's what they use for jewelry. So we actually got an argument about the value of his 20-sided die, his dice. No joke. The guy had an extra 10-20 dice in his collection, all from the vaults, that he had bought over the years, that he had broken down the product and had the single cards because he loved the really flashy foiling. Now again, the foiling process is not really what we're going to focus on because there's a lot of arguments about people who love and people who hate the super high gloss, really flashy foiling of From the Vault products. Personally, this was the first time I saw the really flashy, really polished, clear-coated, smooth layer from the Vault actually foiling. I was not a fan. And then later on, actually, when the Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch Expedition came out, they used the same super gloss, really shiny foiling. And I thought it was a really interesting thing, and I actually slowly kind of grew on me. In Florida, and actually knowing how to handle these cards, I don't really have too much in warping, but these cards, if mistreated or kept in non-climate control, will turn into Pringle chips. So, I got an argument with the guy over the 20-sided dice because he literally said, well, these are $10 to $20 a piece. I was like, wait. You're telling me you want a minimum of $10 per die? He goes, yeah, because some of these dice are $20 a piece, especially the relics, the legends, the dice are $20 a piece. Some of them are going to go to $30, $40 a dice. And this sparked the beginning of what I had no idea was going to be a 4-month, literally scavenger hunt for me. So we got an argument with the value of the dice. And then after that, ended up buying it, paying him $10 a piece for dice. It was stupid because I wanted the collection, but it was just something he was adamant about, and he didn't want to break the collection up. So then later on, he said, oh, by the way, literally, this is cheesy, dude. It's like out of a movie. He was leaving. Deal was done. And the guy said, by the way, if you want a hot stock tip or some cheesy fun thing, he said, do some research on From the Vaults. And I was like, all right, yeah, I know. I bought your stupid dice for $10 a piece. What's your point? And that was the beginning of one of those stupid Hollywood movies where they say something, you brush it off, and then it eats away at you and you start researching it. So I started with this. From the Vault Legends. In the end of October, beginning of November, right after Halloween, right before Black Friday, right before everything happened in 2020. Everybody was focused on reserve list boom. Of course, Modern's dead, right? Modern's a speed bump in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru when you get your waffle fries, right? Then, the world got weird on me. All From the Vaults have 15 cards, except obviously From the Vault 20, which has 20 cards. There's 15 cards inside of these. The outer packaging is not sealed. The inner cards have a factory clear coat sealed. They're in a wrapper with a pull string. They are factory sealed, which is good. That's very important for the value and condition of these sensitive cards. So in the From the Vault Legends, in near mint condition, on TCG Player, just go on there. Look for Pack Fresh Near Mint. Not played. Ulamog, 110. Locus of Mana, 30. Lord of Dr. Wu Wang, Rudy's Doctor, 25. Kiki Jiki, 17. And of course, our good old friend, Captain Sisay, $15. Add up all 15 cards inside of this product in near mint condition, and the value is approximately $300 in single card prices in near mint condition. And then I went on the open market, and these were for sale for $125 to $135 a piece, factory sealed, unopened, all across the country. And at that point I realized, obviously I must have mispriced it. I looked at the wrong cards. Maybe I hit the wrong version. Maybe I just said, well, maybe they don't come with the dice. Maybe people took them out. I started to get very skeptical. I became very pessimistic, saying there's no way in hell. This is stupid. There's no way. You're trying to tell me a sealed From the Vault Legends is $130 to $140 on the open market, and they're all over the country. And the cards within the box, which are all pre-constructed, meaning they're all the same in every package, are $300. You're trying to tell me there's an inverted 100% curve. There's no way. I became very negative and pessimistic on it. So I bought one. Bought two. So then I realized that as time went on that this was actually a real thing, and the market was completely distorted because of the pessimism of modern and the pessimism of different just segments of the market while everybody was fighting over reserve list cards. I realized that there was seriously something major going on here, and that the market just had absolutely no interest in this, and I didn't understand why. And of course, I expect the comment section to say things like, well, Rudy, we don't like the cards. Rudy, Modern's dead. Rudy, I don't know, COVID-27 is coming. You know, or they're all Pringle chips, or I hate wizards, or politics, or whatever. You know, I get it. I've heard it all. That's not the point. I don't care. We're talking about money and finance. Whatever reason, it's fine. You're free to have your reason. But at the end of the day, there's no opinion when it comes to raw data. I go by data and numbers. Everything else is fugazi and fairy dust. I don't care. So I started to buy From the Vault products. I started with From the Vault Legends 4 months ago. And after I didn't want to really cause a lot of shakeup. A couple people out there found out in November, December, as everything was being repriced in the world, and inflation started to rear its nasty head. It started to, some of the store owners, and I saw some private message boards and got some screenshots where people were saying, hey, I've been getting orders From the Vaults, and a lot of them seems to be going to that Rudy's Magic store in Jacksonville, Florida type thing. And sure enough, some people caught on. But overall, I decided to try to buy one or two every single day for the last literally $110 to $130, or 110 to 130 days, not dollars, in the last couple months. So that's where it started. From the Vault Legends, everybody, because for some stupid reason, the market got it wrong. And I figured by only buying one or two a day, it'll be such a small, slow drip process, it won't cause any alerts or attention, or it won't really get anybody suspicious, because usually what happens is when a store sells an item, the first thing they do is they go online, they make sure it didn't spike or it wasn't bought out, and they usually price check it. If it doesn't look dramatically different, you don't get pushback or canceled orders or problems. Whether you think that's right or wrong, which we all get frustrated with canceled orders and relisting, at the end of the day, it goes on. We're not going to argue that. That was my concern about it. So, that again was the beginning of the story, which then led me to say, wait a minute, there's 10 From the Vaults in the entire product line before they discontinued it. This was, the first 5 From the Vaults had extraordinarily low print runs. Obviously, being the original From the Vault even had multiple reserve list cards in it to only exist in foil. And then after the first 5 From the Vaults, the last 5 From the Vaults in the series were cheaper and higher printed and produced. And that led me to the next thing, which was how many of these were mispriced. What about Realms? What about Dragons? What about Exiled? What about Relics? And then if they're really that rare, and the yield curve is that inverted, what the hell is going on? How many are out there? Is it really that many? So that continues the journey.